openly anti-India but gets a free run by AAP. Why is AAP giving a free run to Amritpal? Arnab debates at 9 p.m.
Burning question.
Actor Richa Chadda mocks Galwan heroes, forced to apologize as she faces police complaints.
कुछ टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग वाले ऐसे हैं जो बार बार हिंदुस्तान के खिलाफ बयानबाजी करते हैं और हिंदुस्तान की आर्मी को कोसने का काम करते हैं.
BJP hits out at the actor for her Galwan insult, claims Rahul Gandhi dialed her to target army. Jama Masjid bans entry to women without a male chaperone, later withdraws the diktat. However, this triggers debate on right to pray. Delhi police search for Shraddha's phone in a creek near Mumbai. Did Aftab try to destroy evidence? Ajal Bajwa tries extricating Pakistan's army from the embarrassing defeat of 1971. Union Home Minister says it's time to rewrite history at a special event to mark 400 years of Assam's icon Lachit Borphuka. Well, good evening, friends. Amid the circus of Pakistan choosing its next army chief, incumbent General Qamar Javed Bajwa threw a googly in his farewell address, making a claim that Pakistan army did not lose the 1971 war. Can you imagine? Why this new Bajwa doctrine? Guilty mind? Easy scapegoat in Pakistani politicians? No accountability, perhaps, of Pakistan army to their nation. Let's look at this report and discuss with some Pakistani guests.
December 16, 1971, Indian Army brought the Pakistanis on its knees. General Niazi signed the instrument of surrender. Pakistan lost its territory and East Pakistan became Bangladesh. 51 years later, this embarrassing defeat still haunts Pakistan. And in a bid to exonerate its army, Pakistan's outgoing Army Chief General Bajwa pinned the blame on politicians.
मैं आज आपके सामने एक ऐसे मौजू पर भी बात करना चाहता हूं जिस पे अमूमन लोग बात करने से गुरेज करते हैं और ये बात 1971 में हमारी फौज की साबका मशरकी पाकिस्तान में कारकर्दगी से मुतालिक है. मैं यहाँ पर कुछ हकायक दुरुस्त करना चाहता हूँ. सबसे पहले साबका मशरकी पाकिस्तान एक फौजी नहीं, एक सियासी नाकामी थी. लड़ने वाले फौजों की तादाद 92,000 नहीं, सिर्फ 34,000 थी. बाकी लोग मुख्तलिफ गवर्नमेंट के डिपार्टमेंट्स में थे और इन 34,000 लोगों का मुकाबला 2.5 लाख इंडियन आर्मी, 2 लाख ट्रेंड मुक्ति बैनी. अगेंस्ट दीज हैवी ऑड्स हमारी फौज बहुत बहादुरी से लड़ी और बेमिसाल कुर्बानियां पेश की, जिसका इतराफ़ खुद इंडियन आर्मी चीफ फील्ड मार्शल मानेक शाह ने भी किया है. इन बहादुर गाजियों और शहीदों की कुर्बानियों का आज तक कौम ने इतराफ़ नहीं किया, जो कि एक बहुत बड़ी ज़्यादती है.
In the last few days, General Bajwa has been surrounded by controversies, including the exponential rise in his family wealth in the last few years. And just a day after his statement on 1971 war, Pakistan's government has named his successor. Pakistan has appointed former top spy Lieutenant General Asim Munir as the new army chief. It is not a secret that in Pakistan, military wields a considerable power over the legislature. So can General Bajwa really scapegoat the politicians? Especially when the face of defeat for Pakistan has been the army. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
All right, it's an unending circus so far as Pakistan Army is concerned, and to discuss that, joining me from the Indian side, Indian point of view, being presented by Major Dhruv Katoch, retired Director, India Foundation, live from Delhi. In a while, I would be joined by Major Gaurav Arya from our studios and Pakistani side, in which we are really interested today to understand what's happening. Hamid Khan, strategic affairs expert, live from London. Also, Adnan Kasser, foreign affairs and defense expert, live from Islamabad. If I could begin with you, Mr. Kasser. Your army chief, the outgoing army chief, puts the entire onus on the civilian leadership for the defeat of 1971. Why do you keep an army then? If the entire responsibility is of the civilian leadership, why spend so much money on the army just to lose war after war? Adnan?
Well, thank you very much, Abhishek, for having me at your show. It's a privilege. And good evening to all your viewers. So first of all, I wish to correct you that this is not a circus going on in Pakistan. This is an unfortunate evolution of democracy. So we are facing unprecedented times presently, and the army chief's speech or address was part of it. So first of all, you must understand what he said and why did he say so after 55 years. So this is basically all wars are political wars. You must understand the military does not take up a war by itself. So it is always to defend the political integrity and the territorial sovereignty of a country. So that is why the 1971 war was also a political war. And it has a historical perspective. If you allow me, I will go back in the history of Pakistan and I will narrate you the events which took place, which led to the 1971 war.
Yeah, okay. So, I will allow Major Gaurav Arya a quick rebuttal and then I'll go to Hamid Khan because, the focus is on Pakistan. I would want my Pakistani guests to really speak their mind and we'll try to understand through them what's happening in Pakistan. But Major Gaurav Arya, we have Adnan Kasser saying that all wars are political wars at the end of the day. And it's an unfortunate evolution of democracy that's happening. And that is why General Bajwa should be allowed to get away by scapegoating the political leadership of Pakistan then and now.
See, their own Homadur Commission report says that that is not the case. I don't know what Adnan Kasser is talking about. And who was the head of the political leadership in Pakistan then? It was General Yahya Khan. And before General Yahya Khan, who was the political leadership? It was General Ayub Khan. The fact of the matter is that the generals are into politics and politicians are into the army headquarters. So nobody knows who's doing what. And as far as him saying, as far as Abhishek Adnan Kasser saying that, we don't know what is happening and in the sense that all wars are political, this is exactly what Nawaz Sharif said about the Kargil war. He said, I had no clue.
Exactly. Also, Major, just so that you build up on this argument, let's verbatim quote what General Bajwa has said. He has said, because he seems to be debunking this thesis which is being pushed by Adnan Kasser, and I'll want Hamid Khan to join us on that. General Bajwa said, our army is often subjected to criticism. I think the reason for that is army's involvement in politics. So, Major, you're right. He is admitting beforehand that we have been tinkering too much with politics, because of which we are criticized. And that is why in February, the army decided to not interfere in politics. Now, that change of heart perhaps has happened because for the first time, Major, perhaps we are hearing slogans like "Ye jo dehshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai." I think this facade of invincibility of Pakistan Army, Hamid Khan, is really falling apart, and the generals are concerned that the onus, the credibility of Pakistan Army is at stake. So make one more attempt and put the entire responsibility on the political leadership. Hamid Khan.
Thank you very much. I have to agree with Major Gaurav Arya that there is no doubt that at that time, all the leader, the government was under a dictatorship of Ayub Khan, followed by then with Yahya Khan. So, there was a army dictatorship involved there. But as far as there are two very facts told by General Bajwa. One is that this is true that there was only 35,000 army was actively taking part in that resistance in East Pakistan, and the rest of the persons who were arrested, they were the war prisoners. But actually, I want to bring the facts. I think Major Gauri Arya will agree that they were the civil officers and other people who were working from West Pakistan to East Pakistan. So the number of 90,000 prisoners has to be clarified, that what were they actually war prisoners or what were the other people. That is a factual thing which needs to be rectified. There is no doubt. Secondly, about the political failure of East Pakistan, I would say that every failure has a political impact. So it is due to a political failure, whether it was Mujibur Rahman and Bhutto's failure or conspiracy by the Indira Gandhi, which has been admitted by the Narendra Modi as well. Prime Minister Modi has admitted that we are the one who divided Pakistan. Pakistan's been victim of a conspiracy by Indians.
Let me correct you, Hamid Khan. I gave you opening comments, but let me correct you on 2 counts. I have come prepared. So let me just quote you. Some facts. Which counter General Bajwa also, by the way. I wish he was a little more prepared in his farewell speech, but I am correcting facts. Major, listen to it. Now, this is from 3 defense-related journals, and I'm quoting the papers. A Lost Opportunity, analysis of 1971 by Lieutenant Colonel Muqtad Ahmad Jilani. This is a Pakistani source. This article appeared in defensejournal.com in January 2003. Again, Azhar, Masood and Malik. 3 authors, Conflict and Development, a case study of the crisis of 1971, International Journal of Research and Innovation in Social Sciences, appeared in 2018. Then Mainsprings of Indian and Pakistani Foreign Policy by S.M. Burke, I believe Shahid Burke, Pakistani author. This appeared in 2012. All 3 sources claim that Pakistan surrendered 93,000 soldiers, of which anything between 65,000 to 81,000 were uniformed soldiers. General Katoch, if I could get you in this, on this.
Can you fix the disturbance,
At
please?
this point, I think it is the other way around.
This absolutely unprepared comment by General Bajwa that only 34,000 were soldiers, the Indian army was huge, and that is why we surrendered. I think someone has to call the bluff of General Bajwa on that. And it helps the Pakistani guests.
No.
Thank you.
Reply one more?
Actually, just wait a minute. I will get back to you. You're very right. When you look into the figures which have been given out, they have been very well documented. I myself was a young officer that time, and we were guarding the prisoner of war camps. Now, I will agree that all 93,000 people who were captured were not the people who were fighting the war. There were some civilian elements in that. But to say that only 34,000 uniformed personnel were there, I think is very grossly off the mark. That is one. The larger point which needs to be understood here is, why did the people of Bangladesh actually go against the Pakistan army? That was the fundamental point. And the fundamental point, there are 2 issues which come up here.
Yeah.
One is the statement which was given by President Yahya Khan, the former chief, in prior to the launch of Operation Searchlight. And in a conference held at Rawalpindi, he made this statement: kill 3 million of them and the rest will fall at your feet. That was one. And the second statement was given by General Niazi to a foreign reporter. And when that foreign reporter asked him why about the rapes, etc., which are taking place in now Bangladesh, he told her, you don't expect my men to fight here and then go to sex back to West Pakistan. That was the exact statement he made. Now, you see, when an army actually treads that path, it loses credibility in its fighting ability. Now, that was the real reason why they surrendered. It was not a question of a one-to-one arms with the Indian army. That, of course, was a very important factor. But the larger factor was they had lost.
You mentioned Operation Searchlight leading to the death of hundreds and thousands of Bengalis. And remember, those Bengalis were Pakistani citizens when they were killed. Major Arya, if I can get you on that, apart from Operation Searchlight, there was also Operation Changes Khan, for example. The preemptive Pakistani airstrikes on about 11 Indian air bases, which made India launch the military campaign. So this mention by Hamid Khan that, Indira Gandhi carried out some conspiracy. Arey Baba, Indira Gandhi, whatever she did, Pakistan army, do they have a strategic mind? And in fact, you are admitting that the Pakistan army miscalculated, misfired, and hence got defeated. Major Arya.
See, Abhishek, I'll tell you, this whole thing about conspiracy in Pakistan, sajish, conspiracy, every incompetence is laid at the feet of conspiracy. So when you say conspiracy, it means कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी नहीं. There was a conspiracy. There was some shatter guy with some brain working behind the scenes. And he's saying this was admitted by Prime Minister Modi. This is in the textbooks, bhai. India created Mukti Bahini. There is nothing to admit. We are proud of it.
Yeah.
We are proud of it.
That's because Pakistani citizens were getting killed, Bengalis were getting killed, hundreds and thousands women were getting raped. It was a humanitarian intervention.
Not only, you see, what General Katot said was absolutely correct. But there was another general, I think it was Tikka Khan or Yahya Khan, I forget which. He said in Urdu कि हम इनकी नस्लें बदल देंगे. And a Bengali officer took a gun, he went to the toilet and he shot himself in the head. I'm sure my Pakistani guests will bear me out. They said हमारी नस्लें बदल देंगे. He said it in a gathering of army officers. This guy took out a service revolver or service pistol, whatever it was, and he committed suicide there. So what I'm trying to say is that there was no conspiracy. We created the Mukti Bahini. The Indian Army created the Mukti Bahini. The Research and Analysis Wing created the Mukti Bahini. We marched into Dhaka and along with our Bengali brothers, it was a joint operation between Mukti Bahini, Mukti Jodha and the Indian Armed Forces, and we created Bangladesh out of East Pakistan. Okay, sir, there is no conspiracy. Yeah. There is no conspiracy. हमने कहा हम तो मुंह पे बोल रहे हैं.
Adnan Kaisar, forget about India. Let's focus on what's happening in Pakistan. Are you really willing to agree with General Bajwa on this? That Pakistani politicians, because you mentioned in your opening comments that this is an unfortunate evolution of democracy. May I ask why it remains unfortunate evolution after 75 years of independence or birth of Pakistan for that matter? Do you really even introspect that it is because of your soft corner for these comments coming in from General Bajwa that the evolution of democracy in Pakistan remains unfortunate?
Every story. Your side of the story, my side of the story, and the truth. Then you gave references to a couple of books or reference. So I quote this Sarmila Bose Dead Reckoning. Every myth has been decamped and has been rubbished by this scholarship because she has told that there had been a victim and villain perspective which was created deliberately. So this conspiracy theory is a valid argument because if you go back in the history, you would see
Major, our Pakistani guests are not willing to let go of the subterfuge of conspiracy. They are not willing to let go of the subterfuge of conspiracy. Major, how do you respond to that? I mean, for God's sake, I have no stakes in Pakistan. Adnan Kaisar and Hamid Khan, you guys have stakes in Pakistan, irrespective of whether Hamid Khan is in London. The future of Pakistan depends on how honest you are at this very critical juncture. At one level, Adnan, at one level, I think General Bajwa was honest. At one level, General Bajwa was honest. He said Pakistan Army has been, as Major would tell you, that generally what happens is countries have an army. In the case of Pakistan, the army has a country. So in that sense, Major, right? In that sense, I think General Bajwa was being honest, Major, that we have been tinkering with politics. Let's stop it. What we are trying to understand is
Pakistan had been one of the 4 national security states in the world. Pakistan had been facing external aggression from India. Pakistan had been facing
Adnan, I want to make a statement with your permission.
The politicians are
Adnan, I want to make a statement and I want to ask both you and Hamid Khan whether you agree with my statement or not.
Go ahead, Major, go ahead.
जैसे आवाम होते हैं उनके ऊपर वैसे हुक्मरान मसल्लत कर दिए जाते हैं.
You're talking about am I wrong? Things. Let's go back to the academics of this discussion, and we have to see.
Sir, I'm just asking you. I'm just asking you. Is it true or not?
Westminster.
Is it true or not? All your four coups have been bloodless, sir. The people welcomed the army. How can you say flawed democracy? You welcome the army.
Yes, even now he's welcoming.
No, Abhishek.
He's being soft.
Absolutely, Abhishek. When Parvez Musharraf threw out Nawaz Sharif, people were doing the bangla on the street and distributing sweets. इनका तो जब भी कोई फौजी हुक्मरान आके चढ़ जाता है सिविलियन गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर 111 ब्रिगेड आती है, these people dance on the street and celebrate.
Let's listen to them.
They distribute sweets.
What is the crime about? Adnan, as I mentioned, Adnan, one by one. First Adnan and then Hamid Khan. First Adnan and then Hamid Khan. We are concerned. We are a neighbor. We are a neighbor. with a very disturbed neighborhood.
Jana Yahya Khan.
Listen.
I
Adnan,
wish to quote
I will come to
Jana Yahya Khan.
Adnan.
Please allow me a
Let's
minute.
structure it.
Jana
Adnan,
Yahya
I am
Khan
speaking to
had
you,
said
Adnan. Hold on.
that I
am speaking
cannot
to you.
throw this country
We
to
are
the
a
wolves.
neighbor.
He was referring to the politicians of Pakistan. They were actually the wolves of this country. They literally broke apart this country.
Oh, now what is this? You are putting your own argument on its head. Adnan, you are putting your own argument on its head. Unfortunate, you said unfortunate evolution of democracy. Now you are saying your politicians are wolves.
The ISI had
Mr. Arya, this is comic. Had it not been Major Arya, this would be comic if this was not tragic. Adnan, you are calling your own politicians wolves?
They were part of the elite.
Adnan, did you just call your politicians wolves?
Their own,
did you call your own politicians wolves?
Can I
Pardon
say
me?
something?
Adnan, you just called your politicians wolves. That's really unfair to your politicians, perhaps. Hamid Khan, do you also see it in that same light that your politicians are wolves and the Pakistan army is there at the vanguard of protecting the nation from these wolves, irrespective of the number of wars it loses?
51 years only to tell to the people of Pakistan as well as to the world at large that Pakistan's internal stability is at stake. And I wish to quote Richard Armitage, who was the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State in, I think, 2011. He gave an interview to Newsweek.
Yeah,
and he
they are
quoted
wolves, you
these
admitted.
words that in 25 years, there would be an Afghanistan, allow me, Afghanistan with more or less the same geographical area. But I cannot say the same about Pakistan. So Pakistan's internal stability, all because of the politicians, is at stake. And
Major,
to use these words.
Major, क्या debate करें Major? Major, क्या debate करें? He's saying the Pakistani politicians in 1955, Pakistani politicians in 1967, Pakistani politicians in 1972, 1975, 1999, they were wolves. Nawaz Sharif was wolf. Bhutto was wolf. Liaquat Ali Khan was wolf.
I will say something.
बस जिन्ना कैदे आजम को wolf कहना रह गया है.
नहीं, but you know,
कैदे आजम की डेथ जल्दी होगी.
नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूं अभिषेक, नहीं, इन्होंने कायदे आजम की बहन को भी कहां छोड़ा. फातिमा जिन्ना, the circumstances under which she went was extremely tragic. Anyway, forget about that. What I want to say is that who are these people that you are calling wolves? They are created by your army, sir.
Oh yes, Nawaz Sharif. Imran Khan.
Nawaz Sharif.
Is Imran Khan a wolf? Who created Imran Khan? It was a 10-year project of the Pakistani army. General Bajwa midwifed Imran Khan becoming Prime Minister.
Abhishek, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was midwifed by Ayub Khan. Nawaz Sharif was midwifed by General Ziaul Haq. ये सारे के सारे GHQ रावलपिंडी की पैदाइश है. All of them without exception. ये इसको तो ये शुजा पाशा ने पैदा करा इमरान खान को.
Let's listen into Hamid Khan on that. Hamid Khan, you are in London, you are, at a safe distance from Pakistan, but still it's your country, Still it's your country. You should be worried. I agree with Adnan on the point that it's an unfortunate evolution of democracy. But then he's calling his own politicians wolves. Is he not inverting his own argument? If you can come on that, Hamid Khan.
Used these words when he took over as the martial law administrator in March 1969. He said, "I cannot."
Okay, Adnan, let Hamid Khan speak. He is speaking for your country.
Word, not mine.
Adnan Sahab, let me reply, please. Thank you.
Okay, let Hamid Khan speak.
Abhishek, there is two facts. One, unfortunately, democracy did not work properly in Pakistan for many reasons, including internal issues of our immature politicians and the mistakes done by the dictators as well. There is no doubt about it. Pakistan is going through a very significant phase at the moment where Pakistan is realizing its mistakes in political system, in our, in our systems where we implemented martial laws. I'll tell you two things. One, you have given so many references of 1971. I have written a very detailed article published here in UK about the truths and the false of 1971. And it is clearly whether it was the attack of March, whether you made the stories of killing of intellectuals of Bengalis, whether you make the stories of raping the thousands of women. When it goes to the facts, it is entirely different. It was a false propaganda against the Pakistan army to create the hatred for the West Pakistan and Pakistan army. There is no doubt about it. If Major Arya is admitting that they created the Mukti Bani, what Mukti Bani did, they make the false accusation against the Pakistan army and West Pakistanis. So this is the fact that we have been victims of the conspiracy,
what I like about
which was
Ahmed Khan
developed by the Indira Gandhi and prior to that.
Ahmed Khan Sahab, I just want to say something very interesting.
Insurgency element.
I think never in the history. Just 1 second, Ahmed Khan Sahab.
The same thing.
Understood, sir. Understood.
The same thing is happening. India is instigating a rebellion.
Great, Abhishek. I just want to bring out a point. Very interesting point.
That's an insurgency.
Very interesting point, Abhishek.
There is an insurgency.
Ahmed Khan is the first person on Republic Media Network or on any channel who has quoted himself.
Insurgency.
Like you quoted 3 articles, Ahmed Khan is quoting himself. He says, I quote my own article which I wrote and which was published in UK. Khan Sahab ऐसे कौन करता है? खुद को कौन quote करता है?
No, I have to take this forward.
With the reference,
he quoted his own article and he said कि क्योंकि मैंने लिखा है ये सब झूठ था इसलिए hence proved.
I can send you the references of United Nations report by the British
I have to get General Katoch for his last comments.
Human rights organizations. I have given the references in it, and I have admitted what mistakes Pakistan Army did in it as well. I have discussed everything.
Understood. I have to get last comments from General Katoch. General Katoch,
Right.
General Katoch,
yes,
General Katoch, I have to, just put some perspective. Adnan objected to my calling it a circus. In fact, I would call it an unending circus. How it happens? A summary starts from Rawalpindi, goes to the Prime Minister's house or Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister's office sends a summary to the President's house. The President takes a chopper and flies down to Lahore. Major, he flies down to Lahore to confabulate with Imran Khan of PTI.
Who's neither the Prime Minister nor an elected representative.
Then in between, before the announcement, in fact, the Information Minister tweets the decision, then deletes it, then again retweets it. Then we have the Defense Minister, what's his name? Khwaja Asif. He is tweeting, questioning the credibility of the Pakistani president and hoping that he follows the constitution. Then after Imran Khan makes a statement saying constitution would be followed, and then finally an announcement happens. General Katoch, this brouhaha about announcing the name of the senior most 3-star general as the next chief of army staff. Is this not a circus, General Katoch?
Or from Badigala. So this
Abhishek, absolutely.
So that is what I am saying, that Pakistan democracy is evolving.
No, could you just hold a minute?
I am really worried about the future of Pakistan because these politicians...
Okay, Adnan, let it evolve, but let's listen to General Katoch also. He's a veteran of the Indian Army, participated in 1971 war. He knows something about what happened in 1971. Listen to it.
I think balkanization is a real
all Pakistanis need to be worried about the future of Pakistan. To that extent, I agree totally with my Pakistani guests. We need to be worried, not just Pakistanis. I feel the whole of South Asia needs to be worried because the way they have taken the country, I don't see them getting out of the situation. You see, every single action which has been taken has been done by the military along with the politicians. Now, once the problem is there, the economy is in a mess, terrorism is all around. And in this situation, there is no question of blame gaming. The problem really, Abhishek, is can Pakistan pull back from the brink? And my assessment is they are not in a position to pull back now, because if they stop terrorism which they have created on the soil, then those very same people whom they have created will get back to them. Their biggest problem today is, for the first time, there is a civilian leader, regardless of his performance, Imran Khan, who has challenged the army. And unfortunately or fortunately for the people of Pakistan, Imran Khan has the people behind him. Now, whether you like Imran Khan or you don't like him is not the point. The point is he has public support and he has challenged the army. And that is where the entire problem is today in Pakistan. Who is going to win this bout? Because the military doesn't want to let go.
It's a country of 220 million. A throng of 100,000 people does not represent the whole of Pakistan. So Imran Khan's following, we have to see it in the elections. If the elections take place today, then we can see. So I agree there is a cult of Imran Khan and has a strong following. I agree with you. But again, you cannot discredit the armed forces of Pakistan, and that is
Adnan,
the most unfortunate thing happening in Pakistan.
Adnan, you have made your point. I think I'll give the last word to Major. Major, this circus, and irrespective of Adnan's objections, I would continue to believe that this is a circus going on in Pakistan. And it's likely, Major, your last comments, it's likely that the Pakistan army is a little scared of the mass sentiment that's coming out against what was called as a very respected and untouchable establishment. And I think that those jitters are really coming out. Do you think so, Major?
I'll sort of close this in a minute. Abhishek, the thing is that, yes, Imran Khan has a cult following, but I would tend to agree with Adnan in the sense that a lot of people who are supporting Imran Khan are now keeping quiet, and the next few days will tell. Because everybody knows, see, this entire brinksmanship was happening till the time the army chief's name was announced. Now that General Munir is the army chief and the president is signed off, 29th, he takes over as the army chief. General Munir was the guy who went to Imran Khan and told him that your wife is corrupt. He said that your wife and Farah Gogi are, taking bribes worth billions of rupees, and you got to stop this. Imran Khan threw him out. He told General Bajwa, throw this man out. The same man who Imran Khan threw out is now Pakistan's army chief. And I don't think this cult of Imran Khan will last very long because it is based on a lot of external factors also. And those factors the army will finish slowly and slowly.
Well, the cult of Imran Khan might not last, Major Gaurav Arya, for the simple reason that the cult was in fact midwifed, as we have discussed, by the Pakistan army. In fact, we have seen some unbelievable pictures, friends, coming out of Pakistan over the last few months. For example, the residence of Corps Commander of the 10th Corps, which essentially overlooks Punjab and the area from where they put in terrorists into Kashmir, that was geared out by protesters. We have seen slogans like, "Ye jo dehshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai." We have seen Pakistan army, irrespective whether it was Imran Khan, being called a bunch of beasts of burden. We have seen the Pakistan army being hurled abuses on the streets, not just by Imran Khan. I think that is the reason why the general got jitters. And when it comes to the 1971 war, obviously, I believe the ghost of that defeat, glorious defeat for the Pakistan army, does not leave any of those Pakistani generals. And that's why I think, in a sense, General Bajwa on his last day as the former chief of army staff decided to put the entire onus on the political leadership. On that note, thank you so much, Adnan and Hamid Khan, for joining us, putting us face to face with the Pakistani side. Thank you so much, General Katoch, and of course, Major Gaurav Arya here in my studios. And for the next debate, it's over to Deepthi Sachdeva.
Thank you, Abhishek. You know, there's a lot common between what you are talking about as in the country and what we'll talk about now. Because this is about as regressive as it can get. This is also about orthodoxy. And this is also about the Talibani mindset, Abhishek, that we've seen actually playing out in Pakistan. But India in 2022, is this what we want? Earlier today what happened, viewers, is that at the 3 gates of the Jama Masjid, we saw boards. Now, these boards said that if you are a solo woman, or even if it's about a group of women, you cannot enter the Jama Masjid. Why? Because you need to be accompanied by some male member, as if, they're there for your moral policing. Lot of outcry. There has been a lot of anger, a lot of shock about the fact that this is happening in the India of 2022. That's the notice up on your screens. And following this entire outcry, following the intervention also by the LG now, through sources, what we can actually tell you is that the Jama Masjid has been forced to take back this order. Though remember, we will have to wait and see when this board comes down. But the question that we'll ask on this edition of The Burning Question, what makes people believe that they can get away with this in the India of 2022? Who are these people who want to, take India back to that Talibani mindset in 2022? Sit back and watch the developments today, one by one. The reactions that have come in and the justification, viewers, is even more bizarre. And then we debate.
In this 21st century, the right to pray has been blocked for women. And this was by none other than the iconic Jama Masjid of Delhi. The administration of Jama Masjid put up controversial notices barring the entry of girls and women, whether alone or in groups. As the issue led to widespread outrage, Jama Masjid's Shahi Imam stepped in to explain that the order is not applicable to those coming to offer prayers.
देखिए यहाँ पे जो लोग इबादत करने आ रहे हैं, चाहे लेडीज़ हो या कोई भी हो, उसके लिए कोई रोक नहीं। लेकिन अगर अकेली लड़की आती है और कहती है मैंने किसी को टाइम दिया है, मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड वेट कर रहा है, इस केस में उनको परमिशन नहीं दी जाएगी।
The order, however, drew backlash. DCW chief to condemn this order and termed it a violation of women's right.
आज जामा मस्जिद में शाही इमाम ने एक बोर्ड लगवाया है कि अब से महिलाओं की एंट्री जामा मस्जिद के अंदर पूरी तरीके से बैन है। तो मेरे हिसाब से सबसे पहले तो ये बहुत ही शर्मनाक और सीधे सीधे गैर संवैधानिक हरकत है। इन्हें क्या लगता है कि ये देश भारत नहीं है, ये देश ईरान है, कि इनका जब मन आएगा महिलाओं के खिलाफ भेदभाव करेंगे और कोई कुछ नहीं कहेगा। जितना हक एक पुरुष का इबादत करने का है, उतना ही हक एक महिला का भी इबादत करने का है।
Later on, the Shahi Imam of Delhi's Jama Masjid agreed to revoke the order on entry of girls without families. The revocation comes with the condition that visitors should respect and maintain the sanctity of the place. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
So who really are these people who always and always find a fault with women? You know, they don't like women who go out and work. They do not like women who have a voice, who speak. You know, Zeenat, we've seen that time and again. They even do not like women who want to go and pray. They do not want women to go out alone. But they want, you know, male members to act as a moral police. Because otherwise what they say, you know, Atikur Rahman, Majid Haidri and Dr. Lubna, as I say good evening to all of you, the justification, Majid, was even more bizarre. Because when we had a colleague who actually asked the PRO at the Jama Masjid, listen, why do you want such a ban on women? What's the problem? He said, because when they come inside, they come here, they treat this like a dating spot. They meet up, you know, men here. They click pictures. What's going on, Majid? What age are we living in?
Well, exactly, Deepti, I'm a bit puzzled by the flip-flop of a Shahi Imam. He first gave an order, then he backtracked. Is it because of some deal? Was there any kind of deal with the Sangh Parivar with regard to Gujarat elections, Delhi municipal elections? We don't know that. Yes, Article 26 of the Indian Constitution.
So, you know, 5 seconds into the debate, you get the Sangh Parivar.
No, I said I don't know.
Just 5 seconds into the debate and you get the Sangh Parivar.
No, I'm coming to the point only. I'm coming to the point. See, firstly,
Majid, you know, I don't even want to look like I'm amused because today we are outraged. Majid, first of all, you tell me that do you have a problem with women entering the Jama Masjid unless they are accompanied by a male member? Are you for such a ban? You're against this? First, make your stand clear.
I'll make my stand clear that empowerment of women is subject to their security and safety, which unfortunately our government and our law is unable
what
to
is this
ensure.
empowerment of women, safety, security? No, it's such a simple question, Majid. Majid, you're for the ban, you're against the ban.
Hello?
Majid.
I'm not getting any audio. Yeah.
You are for the ban, you're against the ban.
I am for the safety and security of women, which unfortunately our government and law is unable to ensure. Aradhna was cut to 6 pieces in Yogi Ji's UP. Shilpa was killed in Jabalpur by Vanabi Ji. So we have women getting insecure in our country.
Don't try that here, please. Majid, please don't try that here. You know, this is abominable, Zeenat, that in today's day and time, you know, on national television, you have people who will, you know, sit and use fancy words like women empowerment, you know, Nari Shakti. But they cannot call out the hypocrisy of the Jama Masjid. Zeenat.
No, there is no hypocrisy.
Absolutely. The message that the Jama Masjid has given...
Please listen to her at least. You want women to be safe, so they should be locked up at home. They better don't have a voice. Zeenat.
The message, unfortunately, that has come out from, you know, the Jama Masjid is a very regressive, a very backward, very anti-Islamic, very pro-Taliban and absolutely anti-constitutional. Islam gave women rights At the time of the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, women went to mosques. There are many traditions which have said that even in the very early morning prayer, when women went to mosque and they had small children, they used to pray in the back rows so that when their children cried, they would offer the obligatory prayer and leave. So, there is absolutely no restriction on women coming to mosque. And you find that all over the world, whether it is in the Arabian countries, whether it is, in the Maghrebi countries, whether it is in Southeast Asia, you do not have these kinds of bans. And in a secular democratic country like India, I'm quite shocked that even a thought like this should occur. And what makes, gives anyone the authority to say that it is women who go to the mosque to tempt men? Why don't you ban the boys?
That's the point.
Now what you're looking at, the rapes and the
Yes, that's the point, Majid. Majid, respond to what Zeenat says, and then I'll get in Atikur Rahman and Lubna also. But Majid, why is the ban only on women? Are you saying that men do not use the mobile phone? Men do not know how to make a reel? Men do not know how to click selfies?
No, I humbly said that empowerment is subject to safety and security, and then let's not forget Article 26 of the Indian Constitution, which guarantees every religious institution, be it Mandir, Masjid, Gurdwara, to have their own laws in their own institutions. So there is any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot poke their nose into religious affairs of any community, be it Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, whatever.
No. One second. No, Majid, you know exactly where you're going.
Insecurity.
You know what happened in the Haji Ali case also. Let me get in Atikur Rahman. Because Majid, this evening you're not making sense. Atikur Rahman, what about you? Would you want to help your friend Majid Hydari see any rationale behind this? Are you going to be supporting him today? Or you will speak for the country, you will speak, because it's not that women are less equal than men. God has made everyone equal, and Allah will not say that because a woman is coming to me alone for prayer, I do not accept her prayers.
Deepti, I am so glad today orthodoxy has been brought to their knees. They will have to be learning some lessons out of this. We, the community, accord the position to these imams, a very high position which is known as Naib-e-Rasul, that is the deputy of Prophet Muhammad. What in return they give it to us is misogyny, patriarchal attitude which discriminates between men and women, which the Prophet never accepted. The Prophet always accorded equal position to men and women in the Muslim societies. And that was very core to the spread of Islam and the acceptability of Islam. I am so glad that even the media since afternoon took up the cudgels and they were brought to their knees. This is a lesson to them.
So you are against the ban, no?
Whatever they are doing,
you are against
as
this
regards
ban.
to our women,
Majid Hydari has been cornered on the panel. Am I right, Atikur Rahman? Because Majid Hydari today cannot tell us that why can't you then have also written boys? लड़कों और लड़कों के groups को भी अकेले नहीं जाने देना चाहिए. मतलब are men some kind of a moral police or what? Or who are they? Majid Hydari.
Atiq, is this for you or for me?
Majid Hydari, that is for you. Because you're the only one who believes that women need to be locked up. Why? Because women have to be kept safe. Because that's the best way for women empowerment.
My first concern is their safety and security, and any religious place, be it Mandir, Masjid, it cannot be a dating point.
Please don't worry about us. Majid Hydari, please don't worry about us. Be worried about yourself. Because you've been singled out on the panel, and even your best friend Atikur Rahman tonight is not willing to support you. He's not willing to support you. Quickly, Atikur Rahman, then I want to get in Lubna.
Aradhana cut into 6 pieces in Yogi Ji's UP. How can I forget that just recently her body has been fished out from the bed?
So don't defend this. Please, Majid, do not defend this. Do not defend this, Majid, please. You exactly know where you're taking this debate. Do not do that.
Convicted rapist.
Atikur Rahman.
How can I forget that? Convicted rapists are on.
So lock the boys, no, lock the boys.
Magistrate,
Ensure that the boys do not get inside the Jama
Magistrate.
Masjid. Girls will be safer inside. Hello, listen, Majid Haidari, why don't you lock the boys inside? Tell the boys to stay inside. Girls
See,
will
that
be
doesn't
safer
make a
outside.
logic. That doesn't make any logic. That doesn't make
Atikur
any
Rahman.
logic. And Muslims at least don't need any lectures.
Wow,
on
that does not make
emancipation of
logic,
women.
but please,
by
please
default,
ensure that
Muslims
women are
for the
locked up. I
rights
have
of
to get
women.
in
We are
Lubna. Atikur
feminists by
Rahman, you have to
default.
forgive me. Because I want to get in Lubna now here. Lubna has been listening to this. You know, Lubna, locking up boys is no logic, but locking up girls is the only logic.
This is so amusing, actually. But as a student of Islam, actually, I would like to say that these people should apply usuli ijtihad. I mean, they are not aware of it, or the second thing is that most of the mullahs, most of the scholars, most of these kind of people who dictate to us, they are not aware of the rest of the world. They are not. They have read the Quran. Yes, they have read about Sharia, but they do not know anything apart from that. But to correctly interpret Islam in modern light, in 21st century, they have to be aware of both things. That is the first thing. And the second thing is that, see, these kind of Iranian kind of mentality or the Taliban kind of mentality, this cannot be tolerated at all. No one can tell me where to go, how to go, and with whom to go, and how to dress, whatever. No one has the right to tell me I am answerable to Allah, to my God alone. And no one is supposed to interfere
Majid,
with that. But
Majid,
yes,
you heard
but yes, but yes, there is one more thing. One more thing. Just a minute. Let me complete. One more thing. That I have been to lot.
Okay,
of
go on,
temples.
please. Lubna, go on.
Yeah, I have been to a lot of religious places, including temples and gurdwaras and all. And there are places where they pose restrictions, like you have to cover your hair, or you cannot wear a short dress there, or you cannot embrace. I mean, if there is a couple, and even if they are married, then too they cannot embrace each other over there. So these are the things. Yes, this is something they should clearly put up, that it is not a place to date.
But that is for everyone. No, Lubna, then perhaps they can just put up a notice saying, Dr. Zina, that mobile phones are not allowed.
That would be actually sensible.
They should just simply say that, Majid.
Sensible. But
it's not about a girl or a boy, but
make...
you're making it very gender specific. Majid Haidari.
Lubna Sahiba spoke about her freedom, that she doesn't need any lectures on what to wear and how to wear. But let me remind her that the Karnataka government, the BJP government, has been asking women not to wear hijab when they are in education institutions. And that is the start of the problem. If we have an issue in Iran, we have a similar issue in our country. And that is because of the Bhagwa mentality, not any Taliban mentality or any other mentality. We have the extremes from the seventh side of our country who are behind the problem.
Majid, I'm a little worried for you, because you know you're swinging from a Jama Masjid, you're swinging from women being banned, you've gone to the hijab, you've traveled to Iran, you've visited the Taliban mindset.
If
what is your problem, Majid Haidari? What is your problem?
Not single men and single women. Why just for women?
No, where is the Saffron Brigade here? I don't understand, Majid. The onus is on you. The onus is on people like you, who believe that you are all above, these women.
The movie had to be changed. That is how the religious sentiments work in the country.
Are you embarrassed to talk about what the Jama Masjid was saying and doing today? Do you want to hear the kind of defense they've put out? Majid Haidari, are you embarrassed to speak about the Jama Masjid?
They went on rampage. And then what happened?
What about the Jama Masjid? The debate is on the Jama Masjid, Dr. Zina.
Just focus on that, Majid. Majid, please, just focus on that.
Why shouldn't I draw parallels? Why are you after Jamia Masjid? Why shouldn't I draw parallels? Should I remind you what Honorable Justice Bobde said? He said even the Sabrimala verdict was not final word. So you should understand the niceties of religious sentiments and issues. Let's not discuss.
See, you are the same people. Zina, that's the hypocrisy. When it comes to the Sabrimala issue, they want women to have access to the sanctum sanctorum. But when it comes to the Jama Masjid, these people have another stand, because they do not even want to let solo women enter the Jama Masjid. That is the hypocrisy.
May I say something? Are you asking me this question? May I respond?
Yes, Dr. Zina, that's for you.
I want to come back to this very important issue that is being raised again and again. The High Court has not said that, it has said only within the classroom, there should be no religious symbolism in any kind of an institution inside the classroom. Nobody is asked not to wear the hijab or cover themselves. Let us get out of this big
No, we are not going to that hijab debate.
Yes,
Zinat, we must not let Majid Haidari escape this debate by, digressing it. We must not let him run away today by digressing the debate.
Absolutely.
He has said that women are unsafe for women empowerment. We are not letting women enter the Jama Masjid.
You see, this holier than thou
That is his
attitude
defense, Dr. Zinat.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. Holier than thou attitude, which is taken by these kind of men, are only showing their patriarchy and their misogynistic mindset to keep a woman here and there and wherever they want and use any kind of excuse to do that. Now, that is not permissible because nowhere in the Muslim world, cutting across the Muslim world, these kind of things exist. So for you to bring it into India and to also imply that it's something to do with, security and safety is absolutely a dead argument. It is, it is unacceptable and it is a dead argument. So, let's not go that way. And it is extremely clear that, it is women who are to blame for everything. It is women who date. Well, who told you that? It is women who want to attract the men there. It is women who do everything. So you have to put the gun on the woman's shoulder and shoot. And for how long? I have been, ever since I was a little girl, I've been listening to this.
Majid Haidari, for how long? Today you've been defeated. Yes, Majid Haidari, today you've been defeated. I want to give the last word still to you. Today you've been defeated. Will you still try this?
In our Desi language, we say Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Divana. This is an internal matter of one community. Let it be for every community. Let's not poke nose into each other.
What is an internal matter? Come on. What is an internal matter? 1 second. No, it's exactly about this patriarchal mindset, Zinat. He says it's an internal matter. Who are you to take a call on behalf of everyone?
Absolutely.
You always make this about faith, about religion, when it is not like that.
You can't have uniformity in everything. It's about unity.
Does a woman not have a right to equality in the country? And are you who will decide how far a woman can go? Can she travel out or not? What she's supposed to wear? What she's supposed to eat? Can she go solo or not solo? Majid Haidari?
That is what the Karnataka government has taught me. That is what the Karnataka government has taught me. And that is what Gujarat recently taught me over
Really?
Karpa. That is what I know about this.
I want to say something.
Do you know what happened in the Haji Ali verdict? Because you get cornered. Do you know what the Haji Ali verdict was? Atikur Rahman, we are running out of time, but I think we must give a befitting reply to Majid Haidari. We can't let him go like this. Atikur Rahman, very quickly.
Deepti, the women of India have learned the Quran and they will abide by the Quran and teach every orthodox their true position in Islam, and they will get their pound of flesh no matter what they do.
This is against the tenets of even Islam, Atikur Rahman.
And equality is at the
See, you run with the hare, you hunt with the hound. Just when I thought that you're beginning to see logic in this entire story, you again try to give us, a spin here. But Dr. Zinat Shaukat Ali, only for word of time, the point is very clear. Today they've been defeated. They will be defeated every single time because a Taliban-like decree is something that will never be tolerated in the country. We are waiting when those boards from the Jama Masjid will come down. I thank you, Dr. Zinat and all gentlemen, for joining us. On the other side, Arnab joins you with the debate.
जो नया ट्रेंड बना है ये प्रॉमिस करेंगे फ्री नौकरी फ्री। मुझे कहता है लैमिनेटेड कार्ड बांटे जा रहे हैं गुजरात में।